Folks, breaking news coming out of Moscow. Multiple gunmen in military-style fatigues opening fire at people with rifles at a concert hall. At least 40 people have been killed, and now we're learning several children among the victims. Senior correspondent John Huddy joining us live with more. John?
Yeah, Chris, we're still getting a lot of reports coming in. A lot of the video we're starting to see of the gunmen, as you mentioned, clad in camouflage fatigues, armed with automatic weapons. By my count, I saw at least 5 going into the Crocus City Hall music venue, which is just outside of Moscow, leaving at least 40 people dead. We're hearing the numbers could be much higher, as we're hearing men, women, and children. The video, by the way, and I should mention just this for our viewers, be very careful because some of the video being posted on social media is quite graphic, showing the gunman walking into the concert venue in what looks like an atrium area, spraying the crowds of unarmed civilians with bullets as people lay dead and dying on the floor, then going into the main concert hall and continuing to open fire. There have been reports about blasts inside the venue. That is not confirmed, but right now we know that it was engulfed in flames. There were reports that possibly the roof was at risk of collapsing. The U.S. Embassy in Moscow is warning American citizens to avoid large gatherings this weekend, as Moscow has now canceled all public events. Ukrainian officials, by the way, have said Ukraine was not involved in any way. Chris, there's been a lot of speculation online. Obviously, there's a war going on between Russia and Ukraine. Ukrainian officials say this was not an act of terror carried out by the country. That said, going back to the U.S. Embassy, I should make mention of this. The U.S. Embassy had a separate warning 2 weeks ago about reports that, quote, according to the embassy, extremists have imminent plans to target large gatherings in Moscow to include concerts, and that U.S. citizens should be advised to avoid large gatherings over the next 24 hours. Chris, that warning was issued March 7th, the same day that Russia's Federal Security Service, the FSB, said that it foiled a plot by an Islamic State cell to attack a synagogue in Moscow. Whether or not these two things are related, again, unclear. We're still waiting for a lot of information coming out of Moscow. There's been information reported by Russian media. We have to be very, very careful. But clearly, all this continues as the war in Ukraine also continues as well. But just a very, very bloody and graphic scene there coming out of this music venue where this massacre happened, Chris.
Absolutely horrific. John Huddy, thank you for the update. Appreciate the time.